I'm here at St. Stephen's Catholic Church in Portland, Oregon. Today is Christmas Eve, and in anticipation, I wish you all a very blessed Christmas, but we still have to wait a few hours. And as you can see, since it is Christmas Eve, I'm just now beginning to decorate the Christmas tree, which will be lit tonight when the feast actually begins. And then we have 40 days of Christmas between December 25th and February 2nd. And so we have lots of opportunity to celebrate Christmas coming up. But I was reminded in a conversation this morning about a book called In Tune with the World, A Theory of Festivity by Josef Pieper. This was written, when was this written? I think 1963 in German and translated and published in English in 1965. And the copy I have here is from Sophia Institute Press. No, it's not. The copy I have here is from St. Augustine's Press, Inc. in South Bend, Indiana. And I think you can still get copies of this. Anyway, as we are preparing for a novena for the Solemnity of the Epiphany, which will start this coming Saturday the 28th and go to the 5th of January, I thought this would be a good message for Christmas Eve. As we're preparing for these festivities, it's good to recognize the reason why we have Advent before Christmas is we need to build the anticipation for the celebration of the 40 days of Christmas. And this is what Pieper has to say. If, for example, we consider the distinction between the festive and the workaday, we soon realize that the antithesis belongs to quite a different category from, say, that of left and right, or day and night. We do not mean only that a working day and a feast day are mutually exclusive. We also mean that work is an everyday occurrence, while a feast is something special, unusual, an interruption in the ordinary passage of time. A holiday every day, even every other day, is an idea that cannot be realized in practice. Even though it may not necessarily run counter to the concept of festivity in itself, it is hardly feasible in the lives of men existing here and now. The festive quality of a holiday depends on its being exceptional. A festival can arise only out of the foundation of a life whose ordinary shape is given by the working day. An idle, rich class of do-nothings are hard put to it even to amuse themselves, let alone to celebrate a festival. The dolce vita is a desperately unfestive affair. There is, incidentally, considerable testimony that this sad truth applied also to the courtly festivals of the Baroque period, which many an innocent historian has described as highly festive occasions. The probability is that they sprang not from joy in living, but from fear, from horror vacui, because the true prerequisite for festivity was lacking at these courts. They had no everyday life and no work, nothing but time on their hands and boredom. And incidentally, pseudo-festivals exist, as well as pseudo-work. Not all activity, not every kind of expenditure of effort and earning of money deserves the name of work. That should be applied only to the active and usually also laborious procurement of the things that are truly useful for living. And it is a good guess that only meaningful work can provide the soil in which festivity flourishes. Perhaps both work and celebration spring from the same root, so that when one dries up, the other withers. But of course, meaningful work signifies more than the mere fact of workaday accomplishment. The implication is that man understands the work and accepts it for what it really is, namely, the tilling of the field, which always includes both happiness and toil, satisfaction as well as sweat of the brow, joy as well as the consumption of vital energy. If one element in these pairs is suppressed, the reality of work is falsified and festivity is ruled out. And that's something for us to ponder over today. The value of our work and the value of having a day of rest, such as Sunday and these great festivals, which take time to prepare for. And that is also a work. It is a work to prepare for a festivity. As you know, if you're having company over your house and you have to clean up all those nooks and crannies that otherwise you don't want people to see. But now we prepare for a festivity of the Lord. And what does that look like? Well, as many of you who join me for novenas know, we prepare ourselves in our hearts, in our minds, and by means of prayer to celebrate a great festival. But we complete the work before the festival. The day before the feast is when we complete the novena. So I hope you will join me here this coming Saturday, December 28th to 2024. Prepare for the Feast of the Nativity. But in the meantime, enjoy the 12 days of Christmas to come. Enjoy this festivity, especially of Christmas Eve. I hope you can go to Christmas midnight Mass. And if not, well, you better make it to Mass, because it is a holy day of obligation. And if you are so ready, the tradition is that you would fast and abstain from meat on Christmas Eve until midnight. All the more reason to go to midnight Mass and have a great feast in the middle of the night afterward. Well, a blessed Christmas to you all, and I hope you will join me here for the novena for the Epiphany, and don't miss a day of prayer with us.